I want people to look at me and know that it's possible. Like I'm not a girl that comes from like a lot of money. I'm a girl that comes from family that figures it out. My name is Pamé, and I am originally from Dominican Republic, pero me crié in, New York and Connecticut, so East Coast girl. So I'm full Dominicana, mira, de pura cepa. Okay, my mom and my dad are both Dominican. Obviously, we're Afro-Latinos. I mean, it's so crazy because I remember like coming to the States and like being around other Latinos or like other Puerto Ricans or like other Dominicans that don't necessarily look like me. So it was hard to come to the States and like have the friend group of the African Americans because I look like I'm African American. Pero no entiendo nada de nada. I don't understand the lingo. I don't understand what's going on. And then the Latinos is like, oh, pero ella negrita, she's black. Like, you know what I mean? So I never felt like I fit with any group, and it's like the only people that I had that looked like me were my family. Like I always knew I was black. It was never like I mean, even though like the Dominicans, we have that problem, like I'm not black, I'm Dominican, like I always knew that I was black. Storytelling for me, it's something that like I grew up listening to palos. Like I grew up like Christmas time, like los tíos, like everyone together, and la tambora, todos together. My mom telling the stories and dancing together in the middle of the circles and the palos and conducting everyone else. Like storytelling has always been an influence for me in everything. Like whether it's me having a conversation, whether it's the music that I make, whether it's the bochinche from everyone and all the tias, like storytelling in whichever form has always been part of my life and a big influence on my music as well. Like I feel like I try to still tell a story with everything that I do, and I try to make sure that with everything that I do, I put a piece of my culture, I put a piece of who I am, I put a little piece of like what I'm trying to also motivate, especially because I feel like here in the States, like there's a misconception that there aren't Latinos that look like me. And so it's like, I want to be able to tell that story. You go back to the Dominican Republic, y hay negrito por todos lados, but you come here and there's like this misconception that, if you are that, then you have to prove yourself. It's like, okay, si tú eres Latina, tú hablas español. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you speak Spanish, you do other things, which if it was the other way around and it was someone that was lighter skinned, they wouldn't be questioned the same. Music was always in my life. Like my dad plays percussion, my mom was always like in church choir and stuff like that. And at first I started off doing musical theater. Like that was the thing. Like I was like Broadway all the way. But then I would go and I would do these auditions and it would be like every black girl in the world auditioning for the one black role in the one musical that's majority white. And so I was like, okay, let's put a pause on this because for right now, like it's not gonna work out the way that I'm thinking to work out, so let me pivot. I don't want to do the normal R&B. Like I don't want to do like reggaeton. Like I was like, let me see if I can make like a different fusion and incorporate like lo palo dominicano, pero like in a more modern way. And so then I ended up like working with like some people that didn't necessarily know anything about it, but it was good that they didn't know anything about it because they kind of brought their pieces into making it feel more, tú sabes, moderno y no típico, So that's kind of like how I got the feeling of the sound, how I got it working together. And I think, in the past few years, like I've just been trying to like solidify that. So then, when I put more music out to the world, it's very, very clear that that's just basically a Pamé sound. And then when people hear it, oh, that's Pamé, 1000%, So I try to incorporate la cultura dominicana and also like lo palo dominicano into everything that I make. My mom has been literally my biggest motivation. Like I remember when I moved out to LA, I was doing like PR for like Caliuchis and Jesse Reyes and Omar Apollo. And I was working at another label and I was doing a lot of like music business, but I knew it wasn't for me. Like I knew I just wanted to sing and write music and like literally be Pamé, like the icon, And so my mom was like, how about just quit your jobs? Like quit. And I was like, Mom, how am I gonna quit? ¿Cómo pagar los biles? Like, how am I gonna do this? She was like, quit your jobs because you always figure it out. And she's always like pushed me to be the best version of myself. And I'm just so happy and grateful because she never pushed what she wanted onto me. She let me decide what I wanted to do and always supported that, like off rip, So that's always nice. I think my mom is literally my biggest push. She's so powerful and she's so like faith ridden and she's just a person that just like loves so hard and tries her best and has sacrificed everything for like everyone around her without a complaint. And we spent with the fires, we spent the last few weeks like cooking 100 meals for the people that didn't have food and cooking Dominican food. We spent at one of the shelters, we made Dominican food and like gave Dominican food to everyone that was there, and she just got here, you know? So it's like, it's kind of like that energy. Waking up at 4 in the morning, making patelitos at Tometal, like making, 375 patelitos to make sure that we, give it to everyone, and like making sure everyone was fed, and like we don't have money in our pocket, but Dios no lo da, like, Dios will give it back to us, and nos lo dan más, So that's always like her motive, and it kind of inspires me to just continue to be that kind of spirit for everyone that's around me. I want people to remember me by someone who, in everything that she does, she's tried her best and did everything that she possibly could to make it happen. Because my life goal is to win an ELGOT. Like, I want to win a Latin Grammy, a Tony, an Oscar. Like, that's my life goal. I want to be the first Afro-Latina to win an ELGOT, I want people to look at me and know that it's possible. Like, I'm not a girl that comes from like a lot of money. I'm a girl that comes from family that figures it out. Whatever way possible, I want to help as many people as I possibly can in this lifetime. So I just want to give that to people. Hello, I'm Pamé, and I'm a storyteller.